As reported on May the 19th, the Security Service of Ukraine announced a successful operation against a Russian military facility in the Black Sea. It is claimed that a new Neva-type radar station, storage facilities and a residential module on one of the gas production platforms captured by the Russian Federation was destroyed using air and sea drones. As part of one special operation, SBU specialists used two types of drones which demonstrated the effectiveness of joint work. We once again reminded the enemy that no Russian junk has a place in the Black Sea, the SBU said, adding that the combination of two types of drones proved its effectiveness. OSINT researcher Tom Bike wrote about where exactly the SBU drones ended up on the social network X. Using geolocation, he determined that the object was located. The abandoned offshore stationary platform, Karkinitska 19, which was previously used for gas production, is located in this place. It is located 21 kilometers from the northwestern coast of the Crimean peninsula. The nearest settlement is the village of Mezhvodnoe, and 25 kilometers from the island of Dzharlygach in the Skadovsky district of the Kherson region. The platform is located in the area in the Shmidtovskoy gas field explored in 1962 to 1964. MSP-19 was built in the late 1980s in Karkinitska Bay to conduct exploration on the Karkinitska structure, drilling on which was unsuccessful. Retired Colonel of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, military expert and pilot instructor Roman Svitan noted that the recent attacks on Crimea, carried out by the SBU using drones, was exemplarily planned. According to the expert, the operation used attack drones, decoys, jammers and electronic warfare equipment. Everything is done with maximum efficiency. One minus military facility with a total cost of approximately $1 million, said Svitan. The expert emphasizes that if such strikes are carried out every day, then in a year there will not be a single military facility left in Crimea. According to him, the SBU closely tracks even mobile targets with the help of confidants and technology. He noted the destruction of equipment on these platforms has another important significance. It is from there that the Russians discover the routes of movement of unmanned boats of the Ukrainian defense forces. According to Roman Svitan, these objects were previously in the area of responsibility of the main intelligence directorate, but now the Security Service of Ukraine is actively working to destroy them. This indicates a systematic approach to weakening the enemy's defense in the Black Sea. Recently, the SBU has taken Crimea seriously. They understand that it is necessary to minus Boyko's towers, said Roman Svitan. Near Pokrovsk, the Russians are constantly pressing. The assaults do not stop. In the grey hours of the day, they accumulate forces, and in the morning, they go on a new offensive. This was stated by the press officer of the 14th Operational Brigade, Chervona Kalina, of the National Guard of Ukraine, Maxim Bakulin, on the air at Kiev 24. They are constantly trying to put pressure changing tactics from small infantry groups to larger-scale assaults, mechanized and also two-wheeled assaults, which have appeared en masse as a novelty among them, and in fact the assaults do not stop. These can be small, 2, 3, 5 small infantry groups, or they can be large ones with the help of equipment and with the support of artillery MLRS, he noted. According to Bakulin, up to 90 enemy manpower may participate in large-scale assaults, but there may be less manpower and more heavy armoured vehicles. The enemy tries to accumulate during the grey time of day. This is in the early morning and when it starts to get dark. And as soon as it accumulates, daylight comes, the enemy starts to move along the entire line in the area of responsibility of our brigade, he said. At the same time, Bakulin noted that the Russians specifically began sending their groups to storm simply through open terrain. If earlier we watched how they walked in a small group through the plantings, now we can watch how they simply walk through the fields. This is done so that the main force and their wings can see where the fire is coming from, where our drones are taking off from. Bakulin explained the tactics. He also notes that the occupiers surrender if they are left alone. It should be noted that Russian troops were most active at the beginning of the invasion in 2022 and in the fall of 2024. However, by the spring of 2025, the aggressors' offensive actions had noticeably slowed down and had effectively reached a dead end. Russian forces have failed to make any significant breakthroughs on the front lines, with minimal progress and huge losses. The situation at the front is not in Russia's favor. The enemy is faced with two key problems. The first is the impossibility of making significant progress. For several months, the Russians have been unsuccessfully storming Pokrovsk. This year alone, their losses have already exceeded 100,000 killed and wounded. The second problem is Ukraine's resilience. Having failed in its attempt to take over the country by military means, the Kremlin has turned to terror tactics against the civilian population.